Hi everyone, hope you are doing well. This is your host Abhishek Sharma from InfosecTrain. So today we are going to discuss about how to get a job role or how to start a career into cybersecurity. As you can see, nowadays many people wanted to switch their career into cybersecurity or want to move into cybersecurity and they don't know what question will be asked by the interviewer. Okay, and you can also say we are living in such an era where everything will be digitalized, from a restaurant order to your public healthcare system, and even your critical information of a national defense is been digitalized. Okay, as you can say, we are lots of, or you can say, as with users have been storing massive information online. Okay, no doubt the data has been vulnerable to an fraudulent hacker. Okay. So IT company, you can see the IT companies have been noticing this all this critical situation, and hence the demand in cybersecurity is been increasing rapidly. Due to which increase in demand, lot of companies are going with an hiring for a cybersecurity enthusiast. If you are the same and wondering how to prepare for a cybersecurity interview, for you all, we are bringing up a small mock interview session. Okay. Now we have one more person into the same session. Hello, Mr. Sayyam Negi. How are you?
Hi Abhishek, I'm good. Thank you. How about you?
I'm too doing good. Thank you. Sam, can you give us a little brief introduction about yourself? So,
Yes, Sayam this side, and I have been into this field of information security for quite a couple of years now, and I am professionally as a trainer, and I do deliver the trainings for various certificates in cybersecurity. So from basic to upper management level certificates, I do deliver them. That will be quite brief about me.
thank you so much. Sayyam, as you know, nowadays cybersecurity has been you can say it's been rapidly moving. Okay, so can you give us a little insight upon the cybersecurity? What is in cybersecurity? Where it has been used?
Yeah, exactly. As you have mentioned, uh, cybersecurity is quite on demand nowadays, right? Like everyone, now and then, we are hearing from people articles on news also regarding cybersecurity. So, what actually cybersecurity is, it's kind of a practice where we defend, or you can say, practice of defending your computers, networks, your servers, mobile devices, applications, your data, from any malicious attacks. That's what your cybersecurity is. Okay, so here we try to provide you the security so that you can be prevented from these kind of malicious attackers, or we also call it hackers, to intrude our network or steal our data.
That's nice. Okay. Now, you have been talking about an attack a lot of times. I've been hearing about. What is an attack and how actually an attack is?
Okay, if we take a normal scenario, like just like in a real time world, if we talk about any person is attacking another person, that's considered as an attack only, right? Hitting with a bat, or shooting a gun or something like that, that's an attack. We hear it a lot in military terms also. But when we talk about it in terms of digital environment or digital world, since we are dealing with it now, we are using mobile phones, application, we access Facebook, Instagram, various application we are accessing. IoT is there, Internet of Things is also there. Our devices are connected with the internet. We are operating it through it, right? So various things have been moved into your digital platforms. So when we talk about these kind of an attacks, basically cyber attacks, this is where an attacker intrudes into your network and steals your data stored over there, or disrupting your services. That's, you can say, is your attack.
Thank you. So, attack. Okay, you told me about an attack. Now, how to defend them? I have been heard something about. You can say the pillar, the security has been splitting on three pillars. What are those three pillars?
Yeah,
And what we
actually,
do in that pillars?
yeah, correct. So actually, cybersecurity, when we talk about, or this information security world, these are basically dependent on these three pillars. Like we have to maintain these three pillars actually. Those three important pillars, which we also known as CIA triad. C stands for your confidentiality, I stands for your integrity, and A stands for your availability. Confidentiality, as in, like, we have to make sure that our data okay, is not accessible by any unauthorized person, right? So like in case if I'm sending any message to you, so you should be only the one, and I'm the one, those who are two authorized people over here, those who can access that data. Other person, any other third party should not be able to access it. That's what your confidentiality is, which is basically maintained by your encryption. And many other ways are also there. If you talk about integrity, integrity makes sure that your data is accurate, it wasn't tampered or modified in between. Okay, so that is maintained by your or attained by your hashing. And if you talk about availability, as the word suggests itself, we have to make sure that our data and our services are available for its genuine or authorized users. That's what your CIA tried stands for.
And how we are going to maintain the availability?
Availability can be
How-
maintained. Yeah, that's a nice question. Availability can be maintained by your load balancer that will be helping you to distribute the traffic, right? Or one thing is we have a backup plans, right? So in case, like taking an example, if we are having any session or if you're having any interview going on online, so in case if there is a power outage in your place, so what do we have as a backup plan? We have our inverters, generators, right? So that it can help us to keep on that particular interview going on or that particular session going on, or to make your work going on and deliver its particular services. So that's what your backup plans can be used and how it can be used to make sure your availability is there. That's what your availability is there.
And what will be the best, you can say, can you give me any example of an attack on availability?
Yeah, there's an attack. We call it DOS attack. DOS, which stands for your denial of service. Basically, that's an attack which targets the availability, of the server. So it's like, if I'm sending a lot of packets, a lot of requests to a server and making it slow by consuming its resources, that's what is your DOS attack.
And what about how you are going to differentiate between hashing and encryption? What are
If you
these two
talk,
terms?
yeah, if you talk about hashing and encryption, so encryption is a two-way process where you can say where information is encrypted by using a key. Okay, so if A is sending any message to B, for example, so A will be encrypting that message using a key, and once it is received by B, B will be decrypting that particular message or data by using the key. Okay, so keys involvement will be there, and it's a two-way process, right? Encryption and decryption. But whereas if you talk about hashing, hashing is a one-way street. It's an irreversible process. Okay, it's impossible, you can say, to reverse it out the hash value to get the plain text out of it. So plain text as in, like, okay, if I'm sending a hello, okay, in encryption I'll be using a key, and that plain text which is hello will be converted into any, you can say, any garbage value or any into a format which is unreadable. Okay, and a key involvement will be there. So B will be using another key to unlock it or to decrypt it, and B will be getting a original plain text back. Whereas if you talk about hashing, why it's a one-way street? Because if this plain text has been hashed once, you cannot get back to the plain text again. So it's irreversible. That's a basic, and that's the main difference between encryption and hashing.
And you're talking about one-way street, two-way street. Again, here's there's one question comes into your mind. It's into mind. What is multi-factor authentication?
Okay. Yeah, multi-factor authentication, or once we are talking about authentication, kind of a concept of your confidentiality also, right? Any unauthorized person won't be able to access it. So yeah, authentication or multi-factor authentication, as in, like when we access our Facebook account or Instagram account, we tend to write our username and password, right? But you might have heard a lot of cases where your account has been hacked, isn't it? So in order to protect it, we do have multiple other ways in order to protect your account or to authenticate yourself, in case if one got compromised, others are also there in order to secure you, right? So you might have noticed this also in your Gmail, if you talk about, right? You entered your password, Then after that, Gmail tend to give you a notification in your mobile that someone from this device is trying to access your account. Please click on yes in case if it's you only to confirm this, right? If not, then you
Yes.
can register
Yes.
complaint and so on. Exactly. So that's the concept of a multi-factor authentication, you can say. So multi-factor authentication is when you're using multiple authenticating factors in order to authenticate yourself, right? So authenticate, as I mentioned, you're proving to the server who you claims to be, right, by entering your credentials. So three factors are there: something you know, something you are, and something you have. These three factors are there. Something you know, if you talk about, it's kind of a knowledgeable factor, as in something which you have to memorize, just like your password, your pattern. We have to memorize it, right? Then we enter it. That's just something you know. If you talk about something you have, it's an ownership factor which you can carry with yourself, like a smart card, right? RSA token, ID card, your badges, right? Which you put into the reader, and then the door gets open. That's your something you have. Something you are is your biometric factor. Biometric as in like your fingerprint, face scanner, retina scan, iris scan. All these are your something you are. So basically, when we talk about multi-factor authentication, it's the combination of two or more authenticating factors in order to make your account secure. So that in case if one got compromised, maybe someone stole your password or someone guessed your password, so other authenticating factors are still there in order to protect your account. That is the concept of your MFA, multi-factor authentication.
Thank you, Sam. That was a very good example and explanation given about the multi-factor authentication. So now here's come my next question. How you are going to differentiate between white hat hacker, black hat hacker, and gray hat hacker? What are these people?
Yeah. So okay, when we talk about hackers, they are divided into multiple parts. So these three are one of them: your black hat, white hat, and your gray hat. Black hat hacker, if you talk about, these are the ones, those who have the malicious intentions. Basically, we'll be dividing these three or differentiating all these three in terms of their intentions only. So they're a very skilled one. They're highly skilled hackers. They have pretty good knowledge about the scripts or tools or how to hack all these things. They have a good knowledge about it. But their intentions is what creates a difference over here. So black hat hacker, as I mentioned, it's a malicious intention, right? They want to disrupt the services, or they want to destroy you, or maybe out of greed, or they want a money out of you, anything like that. So they hack due to these reasons. So their motives and intentions are malicious. Okay, when we talk about ethical or white hat hacker, they are the ones, those who have good intentions, right? Like your pen testers or your penetration tester, when we talk about in terms of organizations. Organization, they hire the penetration tester, right? And they'll be performing this ethical or white hat hacking on organization servers or systems in order to find out any vulnerability or a flaw over there, which they can fix up and help the organization to fix it up, basically. And they'll protect themselves from any malicious hacker, as black hat hacker. So that's your white hat hacker. They are the good people, we can say, right? Those who go by the books and they do not have any malicious intentions. And we talk about gray hat hacker, it's a blend of both, mixture of both. So you can say, at time it will be a black hat hacker, and then it can be a white hat hacker also. So for example, if there is any hacker who found out a vulnerability in InfosecTrain, if you take an example, then he contacted with the InfosecTrain and somehow that deal went off. Okay, like maybe that hacker is just asking for a reward or something, which is bug bounty program kind of thing, right? So that hacker hasn't done anything yet, right? Anything malicious. He found out a vulnerability, he reported to InfosecTrain so that it can be fixed. But in return, he was just asking for a small reward. But the deal went off, and something happened. So now that hacker is doing what? That hacker is making that vulnerability either public or selling in the black market or something, so that others can take an advantage of that. Now that person is trying to do what? Trying to take a revenge, or trying to make someone to take an advantage of that vulnerability in InfosecTrain, so that it can affect InfosecTrain. So that's how the blend is there: white and plus black. That's your gray hat hacker.
Now, as we can see, everything has been related to a network, and we are talking about an hack, we are talking about an attacks. Okay, if only my device has been connected to a network, then only we can perform an attack,
Exactly.
isn't it? You can say something like that. Now, what is a network? As you can say, as per your perspective, what is a network, and which particular model are we taking as a reference, and which particular model are we taking ahead, particularly onto a network? Can you please enlighten us with
Yeah.
that?
So network, which we all hear, there's a pretty base definition for that. Two or more systems connected to each other, and sharing the
Yes.
information or data with each other. That's a network. So if we people are connected, or you can say there's a party and all, we are, inside a room, right? And then we are sharing, the information with each other, as in doing the conversation with each other. That's sharing of the information or sharing of the data. So similarly, two or more systems, those who are connected and sharing the data or sharing the information, is known as your network. So network considers like a city, okay, and the cars or the traffic which is flowing in that particular city will be your data. So how it will be flowing, where it will be flowing, that is kind of a section of your topologies which takes care of it. And if you talk about the models which we are using, which model do we use? It's your TCP/IP. Okay, so mainly this is also as the people get confused which one is the model which we are using, because we often hear the word which is OSI model and TCP/IP model, right? So just to make a difference, OSI model is a model which is a reference model, that is just for the reference, that was never practically implemented. Whereas if we talk about the model which was practically implemented, which is your TCP/IP, right? So OSI model having the 7 layers, right? Um, Starting from layer 1 will be your physical layer 2 will be your data link, layer 3 will be your network layer 4 will be your transport, layer 5 will be your session, layer 6 being your presentation, layer 7 being your application layer. Whereas if we talk about TCP/IP, often you will hear 4 or 5 layers are there. So generally it's your application, transport, internet layer, and physical address layer.
It was a very great session with you, Sayam. Thank you very much for giving us an insight about the cybersecurity, how to prepare for the cybersecurity. I guess so this question will be very much helpful out for the people who want to enter into this world. Okay. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your help. Okay. For more such kind of a video, please do follow us on our social media platform. Thank you everyone, guys. Stay
Thank
safe,
you.
stay healthy.
Thank you everyone. Thank you, Abhishek.